Some people talk about marketing, and then there's Jason Wojciechowicz.
For 7 years straight, I've posted like an addict on all platforms.
At just 19, he was running socials for barbershops. By 25, he'd helped scale over 1,300 businesses.
Like right now, we're not in like an economic recession, we're in a trust recession.
His agency, over $140 million in online revenue.
Like, I have a lot of nice cars. Get out of that world, because it's just like full of shit.
From 0 calls on his calendar to a pipeline full of cash flow, Jason cracked the code on ads, content, storytelling, and scale, but without selling his soul to the vanity game. In this episode, we talk about how to actually grow a business, not just look like one. We cover lead gen, funnel psychology, team structure, and why Just Get Me Leads is the surest sign you're not ready to win.
If I just stick around long enough, I'm gonna get it wet.
This one's for the builders, the marketers, the quiet killers, and anyone chasing legacy over likes. Welcome to Coffeez. Quick break. Thinking of going independent? Don't do it alone. At eMortgage Capital, our hybrid broker-banker model gives you real support, instant lead access, 160-plus lenders, and nationwide reach in 46 states. No hidden fees, no fluff. Just a platform built for LOs who want freedom with firepower. Visit joinemortgagecapital.com and run your business your way. Jason, what's your morning routine as a young man here these days?
Oh man, my morning routine. I always like to wake up around like 6:30, 6:45, and I like to take a drive in the morning. I feel like the best time I have is sometimes when I am alone and I get to think and I have like my ideas. So I'll always just get up, do my teeth, all that fun jazz, get dressed, and I just take like a drive for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I let the wind hit my face. I just get to think about the day. Some people jump up too soon in their morning routine, and I'm just like, I feel like you get to action too quick. You don't get to process anything. And then I get to decide like what my day's going to look like, because I don't really set my calendar anymore. My calendar gets blocked. I see a lot of entrepreneurs that have like this big stacked calendar, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a lot of meetings, got a lot of things going on. I'm like I have 0 calls on my calendar at all times. I always put like the big blue blocks every single day. And now I just do like podcasts. I'll do speaking events. I just focus on things that are like really revenue driven. But like as far as the morning, I get my coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. I drive around 45 minutes and then I come back, and then I usually will like listen to some music for a little bit. I kind of just take a little walk too, and then I'll go back in the house by like 7:45, 8 o'clock, and then I work on the most important things for like the first hour and a half of the day.
Now you're a young guy. What age were you when you started in ads?
I was 19. Yeah, I was 19, going on 20.
Okay.
And I was just doing stuff for local businesses, like barbershops, restaurants, just social media management. Like nothing to have to do with ads. I learned the organic piece first, and then business owners started saying to me, hey, do you run ads? Hey, I just want more leads. Like, can you help us do that? And then I had to learn ads, and then I was selling the service back to them.
Now, what's your opinion on an organic strategy versus a paid strategy, and what can get you to, notoriety faster?
So I look at organic as like a supplement. So like if you run ads, like your offer needs to be good. Your sales process has to be even better. Like the marketing on the front end, people are like, right now we're not in like an economic recession, we're in a trust recession. It's harder for people to really trust people. So it's like, all right, I run paid traffic, I get a lot of clicks, I get a lot of leads. They're going to go to your page to check out your organic. Am I posting every day? Is this someone I can trust? What's their tonality? Like, what's the posture? Is this somebody that I can actually give my money to and do business with? So I look at organic as a supplement, because if your organic is like non-existent, your paid ads will suffer. And I just see it night and day difference. Like when you're running paid traffic and doing really well, it's usually a reflection of how transparent and how well your organic is doing as well. Because people, like if I look at a Facebook ad right now, I'll see 1,000 clicks, right? Let's just say we have 1,000 clicks. Okay. About 400 of those clicks are people clicking your profile picture first, then going back to the ad if they like your organic. So like 40% of your traffic is looking at organic first to then decide, hey, do I want to go to their landing page and make a decision, make a payment, buy an event ticket, opt in for a webinar, whatever it is, then they'll make that choice.
I never thought of it like that. Now, you've scaled. The documentation here says 1,300 businesses. Now, what's the common thread that you see amongst all those, and what really have you seen as the most effective strategy to scaling amongst those 1,300 companies?
So it's always about the 4 key parts that we find in a business. So one is their offer is like really good, right? When you have a business that is doing, let's say, 1 to 5 million a year. Okay, 1 to 5 million a year is a business that is considered a small business, but like it's not something that is what we call scalable yet. Okay, so like 1 to 5 million to me is a business that is decent organically, takes care of their customers, has a decent team, they get a lot of referrals, like they're able to build that network through that piece. And then I look at a business that has what we call a scalable offer, something that will get them from 5 to 50 million. Like 5 to 50 million, you just pour gas on the fire with paid traffic, and you can scale a business with just paid ads. And then with that supplement organic, like I'm talking about. And then, if they have a good offer, okay, you have a great offer. Next piece is your funnels, your landing pages, your copy, the content. Like now that they know you have a good offer, can you actually close them on the next page? So you could have a great offer and then they go to the next page and there's incongruency, there's no storytelling, no infatuations, the sales process is wrong, the funnel's wrong for the wrong prospect, how the prospect even learns about the product is different. Like let's say you run a landing page with just text and an opt-in. Okay, but your prospect might want to learn through a quiz funnel. They might want to come to a webinar instead. They might want to go to a local event first to see you in person to buy something higher ticket. They might want another type of version of a sales process, which brings me to the third piece, which is the sales. Okay, you could have a great offer, great landing page, but then we look at your sales team. What's your leadership look like? What kind of KPIs are you tracking? What KPIs are you spending more money on based on what's a winner and what's not? And then the fourth part is usually leadership. Like leadership really dictates how everybody follows your offer, your sales process, your fulfillment, the customer journey, all of that. If I look at your leadership and I see that there's faults or a lack of commitment or a lack of hierarchy, there's no employee maturity model, there's none of these things in the business, it makes it harder for them to actually scale and grow, even if their offer is great.
Wow. I didn't realize. Now, I've noticed something on like your specific content strategy. You run paid ads on all your postings. Mm-hmm. That's why I'll see like, you go to 0 to 100, get a lot of reshares, get a lot of, I've never ran paid ads on my own content strategy. It's always been like organic. But then again, the only way I'm able to get organic reach is because I do entertainment. You're straight doing marketing content. So you have to run paid ads, right? Yeah. So that's where the drop off is. My question for you is like, can a normal non-business owner use paid ad strategy to grow their own following like you did?
Yeah.
Or, because you did it with an offering. How can someone do it without an offering?
So without an offering, that's usually going to be like you were talking about entertainment. So if I was doing entertainment posts, I would have to be spending money on advertising with the intention that I'm doing other things on the side that make me money, like brand deals or affiliates or partnerships in some capacity, because if I'm just a personality, I have to make money through other means. So like if you're entertainment, but you show something in the video that's entertaining, you're like, hey, go buy it, the link's in my bio. Now you're just getting a bunch of funneled buyers and you're getting a piece of the pie. So that'd probably be through like affiliates. Or there's like artists or comedians, right? So like they'll run traffic and they want to sell tickets to their event. So, I mean, it's usually like lower hanging fruit purchases. But like with my stuff, like, yeah, I mean, when it's educational, you can just pump money behind it and then I just retarget 50% of the views. So like those 100,000 views per video, okay, if I get 20,000 of them to go past 50% of the watch time or 75% of the watch time, I'll retarget them to an educational value post that will then get them to then take an action, book a call, join my school group or something that shows not buyer intent, but like intent to engage, intent to move into the next process of the customer journey. So that's just how I want to lead them that way. Because if you just go straight like pressure click to a book call really quickly, like it's harder to close them because they're not nurtured as much. So when I pump all the posts, I'm able to retarget them 50% of the views. And now they are someone who said, oh yeah, I've seen your stuff. I've watched your videos. Like I'm ready to become a buyer. Instead of, I don't know who the hell you are. I saw this post. I'm new to this. There's two different avatars that I'm trying to click with.
And I think the way you're marketing is like you're like a celebrity to entrepreneurs because every entrepreneur knows who you are. And I think you've done that by design. Like, how have you been able to penetrate the entrepreneur market? Like every entrepreneur is familiar with Jason Wojo.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like just through, you know, the lookalike audiences that you're emulating on Facebook, Instagram, and is that the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, there's more to it. So like, for 7 years straight, I've posted like an addict on all platforms. So that's like
When you say all platforms, because I'm on all platforms. Listen,
like TikTok, Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, we post, but like we just take what's on Threads. If you know what Threads is like the
of
Instagram,
course.
Twitter. That we then just take the post and then copy and paste it to LinkedIn. Or we take long form YouTube videos and then transcribe them and turn those into Thread, Twitter, and LinkedIn posts. But like the strategy for us for years was just, I was always under this like one quote that I've always lived by, which is if I just stick around long enough, I'm going to get a win. I just post so many times that you can't leave the feed without seeing me. And then on top of it, we just run paid traffic. So like it's not only organic that built the name and the brand, but like we spend a lot of money on ads every day. Probably more than the average individual. So like we just spend so much to where I'm trying to, you know, funnel people into the school group. I'm trying to funnel people into, you know, the book a call funnel, low ticket funnels, webinars. Like we run so much traffic. We get hundreds of leads a day, and I'm just looking to run the traffic to break even. I don't run a business to make money on the front end. Most businesses do that. I mean, I play the lifetime value game. That's the one KPI that I've always driven in the business. Because lifetime value will save a business regardless of what state it's in.
Yeah, that's just the same play we have right now. What I've identified is that, like, from a personal perspective, like if I ran paid ads personally, that would destroy my organic engagement. That would. So you'd have to be reliant. Now the algorithm's like, I got you.
Well, it actually won't.
It won't?
No, it won't. No. If you spend money on ads, organic goes down, that's a whole facade.
Oh, really?
A whole facade. People will use that angle because they're scared to lose the organic stuff that they're doing. But paid ads is like putting fire on. It's like putting gasoline on a fire. You already have the fire. It's the organic. It's the brand. It's the messaging. It's what you do. And then you just put gas on it, which is, hey, let's throw some money every day on Facebook and Instagram, all these platforms, and then just like make the fire bigger. It's kind of like what they say when someone makes money. Okay? If they were an asshole before, they're going to be one once they make money. The money is going to show you the true colors of who the individual is. So if you have a good offer, good business, good organic, and then we just pour gas on it with paid ads, it will show the true colors of what the market thinks. That's a really big difference between organic and paid. Organic, you can sell as much as you want. Like I can go on live right now and I could probably sell 10, 20, 30 grand of just like coaching, done for you services. But if I go on paid ads, I now have to have like a really good funnel and a good ad and good messaging because the cold market is what's going to tell me what works and what doesn't. But organic will always buy from me because they know, like, and trust me. So that's where the two differ. But like, yeah, dude, paid ads it's just an amplifier. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've heard. People have said that, especially with YouTube. I tried it on TikTok. It didn't impact my TikTok. Been terrified to try it on Instagram.
I wouldn't do the boost post. I would go in the back end. You just go back end ads manager and run like conversion campaigns so that it doesn't mess with your front end. Like that's what I do. I don't run the boost posts or run engagement. I only will take the post and run it as a conversion campaign. So it's going for a lead, for a purchase, or something that has buyer intent.
I see. Now, your agency boasts like you've done over $140 million in online sales. At what point did revenue growth start to feel like a numbers game rather than like a mission-driven endeavor?
I think it was more of a numbers game when I had a bigger team.
How big's your team now?
58. So a team of 58. When we went past like 40, 35 team members, that's when it started to become like a numbers game. Because like as we scaled, like yeah, margins drop, but then we had to focus on more product market fit, more lifetime value, raising prices, having better salespeople, sales manager in place. All these things had to be incorporated. But like the whole numbers game thing is like, I didn't want it to be a game. I wanted it to be like a slot machine. Like even if I had 100 visitors a day versus 1,000 visitors a day, I want to make sure that when I cha-ching the slot machine that the amount would be about the same. I don't want to have the law of diminishing returns. Unfortunately, when you're hiring a bigger sales team, you're going to take on people who are not as great. You're going to have these outliers that fall within the cracks. So it's like I just think once the team was bigger, I had to play with the numbers more so that I wasn't screwing stuff up as the margins fall.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I really like is that you were actually in Entrepreneurs 30 Under 30. Now, how do you transform like those accolades into like tangible clients? What's the strategy there? Is just running ads behind it, or?
Yeah, we use them in ads. Like I have certain ads for each part of the funnel. So it'll be like top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Bottom of funnel ads are all retargeting. So that's where I'll start talking about those things in the ads. Top of funnel is like, hey, here's who I am and what we do. Middle of funnel is like, here's why running ads are important. And bottom of funnel is like, here's why you should work with us. We have this result, this case study, this accolade, etc. So I could just like get them to the bottom. Because at the top, they don't really care about that as much because then it's just me. Like I'm just talking about me. But the ad's supposed to be about why you get a benefit or a result. So I want it to be about the prospect. But yeah, of course we use this. We have badges on the landing pages. You know, we use it in our pitch deck. You know, we use it for like, we run a lot of events. So we put a menu in front of everybody where we talk about accolades and the price points and all that. So like we use it. It's just not something that we use first.
Yeah.
Because then it makes us look like egotistical and weird. So yeah, it's like, yeah, no.
I've always wondered how to use that in a funnel strategy, like all the accolades we get, like all these awards we're getting all the time. We got like dozens and dozens of awards, tons of awards we get every year.
Don't have to say in the video. Like the way that we use it now is we just have it in the background. So like you've probably seen those ClickFunnels awards that people get for like making X amount of money or whatever. You could just like, if I were shooting an ad right now, like I would put a ClickFunnels award behind me, another ClickFunnels award here, and then the Inc. 5000, and like the 30 under 30 thing underneath me. Like that's what I would have in an ad. I wouldn't say it out loud though. I would intrinsically let the prospect decide, oh, I know what that is. Because here's the thing, if they know what those things are, they're going to buy something. Like if they understand the validity of it. But if I have to explain it, then I'm looking like I'm trying too hard. It's like a needy feel.
Yeah.
So if I just have the awards behind me, I let the prospect sit there and go, okay, that makes sense. I know what that is.
So you're doing a lot of podcasts right now, and you're gonna do 4 podcasts. What do you think the value is of podcasting for your business? Especially, you're meeting all these entrepreneurs who need your services, I'm sure, besides actually the relationship.
So the crazy thing is I never pitch or anything to anybody when I come to podcasts. I don't. And the funniest thing about it is that I'll do maybe 4 to 8 a month, give or take. Like I'll do 2 travel weekends or 2 travel weeks or whatever. But like they'll wind up asking me if I can do it. I don't actually do anything marketing wise. It's really weird, bro. It's interesting. I don't use it to generate income or anything. I use it to network and meet the next person. And that's how I really got a lot more views over the last 2-3 years and really started having bigger networks and starting to network with real business owners.
Yeah.
Not just not to be that guy, but a lot of these coaches on the internet, they're not networks. They're just clowns. They're not real business owners.
Yeah, we have a saying here, those who can do, those who can't coach.
Yeah. So it's now I just do podcasts for content, for collaboration posts, because it helps out both pages. And then the third would be just hey, if I can help in any way, then I can help. If I can't help, no harm, no foul, I still get content. So it's it's a win-win.
For you, you're going into, and you're talking to entrepreneurs, because most of the people who have podcasts and have the leisure of podcasting are successful entrepreneurs, I would say.
Yeah. So
just the one-on-one you get with me, or you're doing Albert's, or all these, and whoever else you're doing while you're in SoCal, which has just mega, and you're doing Dave's right after.
Yeah.
It's you racked it up, maximizing, and everybody's a successful entrepreneur. So it's a great way for you and your business, I'm sure. But I just, a lot of people undervalue, what a podcast can do for a business. I've used it, and I feel like it's catapulted all my networks, my relationships, my friendships, and for me, my personal growth. I'm over here, I'm asking you questions that directly impact my business and my strategy. So, it's a win-win for me. Now, what I find fascinating is you've developed a key method on focusing on strategic business aspects. Now, which clients most often underestimated, but how does that really impact their success? The different aspects of marketing strategy.
When they underestimate it, they typically become impatient because they don't understand how much work it is. So they just look at ads and advertising as, yeah, like I want to spend money. I want to get clicks. I want to make money. And I'm like, dude, there's so many more things to this puzzle.
Yeah.
And they
so
don't want to
many more.
understand that because Facebook, in the beginning of Facebook's time, they made the barrier to entry so low. You got a credit card, you want to spend $5 a day, come join us. Little did Facebook realize they were misleading people in the wrong fashion. Because what do half the people that we talk to say? I spent a lot of money on ads, I did it on my own, it didn't work. I'm like, well, yeah, because they made the barrier to entry so low. Like, in my opinion, what they should be doing is they should be validating, like, your taxes, LLC information, all this stuff. I know that might seem small to bigger entrepreneurs who are listening to this because it's like, oh, yeah, you're supposed to have that. But, like, dude, they let people who are low-hanging fruit, solopreneurs in their garage take a credit card and spend $10, $20 a day, $50 a day. And it's just like, it becomes this thing where people start throwing the word saturated around because there's no barrier to entry. So, like, when they underestimate it, now they get impatient because they're like, oh, ads don't work. This other person I hired didn't work. And I'm like, dude, your landing page, your offer, all these things. Oh, no, just get me the leads. I'll close them. I love those people. They're like, just send me leads and I'll close them. I'm like, when you say that, we know you can't close the door. Like, we know you're not good at sales because it comes down to the actual sales process, your lead nurture, like, what is your like ascension model look like? What are all these things in the business that actually matter that drive the business forward? And you don't know it. You're like, that stuff's not important right now. I just need leads. I need to make money. And I'm like, bro, you're not a real business. It's crazy.
And they just skipped all the steps and they don't understand how many layers there are. I mean, you're a brilliant marketer. You know, that's what you are. And there's so many components to attaining that. And people they see Jason Wojciechowicz, they're probably thinking just Jason's running my ads. Like, they don't know that you got 60 people underneath you, like, that you're directing, you know, like creating strategies and really brainstorming with. And I'm assuming you're all decentralized. And they're US based or overseas, or how many people?
So I would say about 85% of our staff is US, and then 15% is going to be international. Yeah.
Nice.
Because those are like developers and graphic design. Like, for me to find graphic design in the US and do developers in the US would just be too overpriced.
Yeah, it
for
doesn't
the
make
amount
sense.
of workload that we need, it's just too expensive.
So who's in the US that you hire? Like,
marketing managers, media buyers. The reason why we don't do overseas as much anymore is because the clients don't like it. Yeah, they care about results, but if I put a client paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month, and they go on a call with somebody who is like in India or in Pakistan, they automatically are just like, I don't trust them. I want a refund. Like, they just don't like it. The professionalism is like not there. So all the marketing managers and the media buyers and the copywriters that we hire now, they're all US. Leadership is US. Yeah, it's more expensive, but it gives off a better tone. It's like when they get on the calls, I can't have people who are international ascending clients or upselling things to them. Like, someone who's getting paid $3 an hour in Pakistan is not going to ascend a client from a package to, hey, we have this too. Hey, we have Mastermind with Wojo. Hey, we got this. They're not going to trust the person. They're like, I could just get somebody on Fiverr myself. So that's where we started to see that, like, and that was 4 years ago. I had VAs like 4 years ago, and the business was stuck at $200,000 a month. And I was like, I'm stuck at $200,000 a month because I'm so bottlenecked because I can't trust these $3 an hour VAs. It just doesn't work. So all the people online who are pushing this VA stuff, like some things, yes, like video editing, fine, VA it. Graphic design, VA it. Social media management, VA it. Developers, VA. Website building, yeah, you could VA it. But like when you have client-facing people in the U.S. where I'm talking to like real franchises and business owners, they're already pissed. They're like, nah, I don't want that. So, yeah.
who are some of the biggest companies you've worked for?
Guaranteed Rate, Harley Davidson.
Are you working with the CMOs directly, or how are you working with
I'm
these
literally
firms?
just in a group chat with, it's just, we call it the GR leadership chat. It's just like this WhatsApp group where I'm just with a bunch of like, yeah, we got CFO, CMO, director of brokers, director of brokerage, like all these like directors and corporate titles. And I'm just like, okay, this is what we're doing. I mean, it's weird going into that corporate realm. The funniest thing about that was that I closed that deal because I gave them one tip. And they like spend a lot of money on like the hockey logos to like be behind the hockey ring and the baseball ring in there. And I got introduced to them by one of my good friends, Jen Beeson. She's like a really big mortgage lender. She was my client for about 4 years until she took everything in house. That's like the biggest way that I'll lose deals, is they decide to go in house.
Do you think you could outperform in-house?
If I'm doing it 1-to-1, that's like my private offer that I do. Like Albert's on. He's like, bro, I had 40, 30 grand a month in marketing people, and you replace that for half the cost. And I'm like, yep, that's what I do. So that's the private offer, is I'll just do one-on-one. I do all your shit one-on-one, and you don't have to have anybody in-house, no health insurance, no all this other payroll taxes and stuff, and I will outperform the team because I do it 1-to-1. And that's what most people buy, is that one-on-one. Director roles for sure. If it's just paid traffic, if your business is heavy paid traffic, then that would make sense. But you have all these other things going on, so that may
We got three. So we got 3 brands: Joseph Shalaby, eMortgage Capital, Coffeez for Closers, and then we got 10 pages for each brand. You know, something.
Oh yeah. So, you're gonna need those in-person roles for sure.
So I met with my team today. I'm like, I've outsourced my personal brand to like just video editors and videographers and guys who post for me, and like now we're just trying to get our hands on the pod. The company, I mean, even with the company, strategizing, entertaining content to get picked up by the algorithm organically is its own thing. Like,
I mean, it's good stuff, and it'll get people to stop the scroll.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. So, our whole thing for our growth strategy is just awareness. We want impressions, millions and millions of impressions, and that's what we drive every day through our reach.
I bet.
But we're all ears. Everybody who's listening to this call markets. If they're not marketing, they shouldn't be. I mean, if they shouldn't be listening to this, because this is an entrepreneur podcast. Like, and entrepreneurs need a market. It's in our DNA. It's imperative to our growth. Now, a couple last questions. Now, you've been involved in both content creation and distribution. How do you see the balance between these two evolving in the next 5 years?
Ooh. I would say more than ever, because of AI, storytelling is going to play a very important role on how we distribute content. Storytelling is going to be like the benchmark on how you emotionally connect with your audience, because people don't know what's artificial, AI, and what's like real now. It's this weird imbalance. So like storytelling, 2 is going to be, and I know a lot of people say this, but it's going to be more important than ever, which is showcasing client results and testimonials more than ever, because people don't know what's fabricated and what's real anymore.
Yeah.
So like storytelling, case studies, content, the way you distribute it, but regardless of how good your content is your product actually good? Because you could have all the great content in the world, but when people get led into the business, like, is the product good, and is it product market fit? And I feel like those are the 3 most important things. Like when you're talking about, like the office-like content, like that content's going to do really, really good. But how we lead the click afterwards through storytelling and through the brand and the messaging is going to matter a lot more.
So what's some good storytelling strategies a business can implement?
Biggest things with stories are, ever since we were children, we always liked stories. Like, you got to look at it like you're sitting at the table with your friends, right? And you knew that your friend went on a date last night. You have to start stories with things that have to pull them in. So like if I said to you, dude, you're not going to believe what me and her did last night. You're going to go like, well, dude, tell me more. But if I just tell you in the beginning, I'm like, hey, dude, me and her went out last night and blah, 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 blah. I told you already what happened, which means that there's no curiosity. And the biggest tip is branching curiosity. The way that you start your video ad, the way that you start your landing page, the way you start X story has to pull them in some weird manner. Now, it could be, it could be the curiosity hook. It could be a value hook, or it could be a controversial hook. So like for you, when you said, hey, talking about the Fed is boring. Well, it doesn't have to be boring. If you said something like, hey, if you had an ad where you had a piece of paper and the phone is going over like the table and you're like, shh, I found this weird like line in the Fed that like they're literally taking your money out of your mortgage. Like you don't even know what it is yet. Like if you started an ad with that, you would get people to watch. Like how were they screwing with my mortgage rate? Like a big thing with VA loans is veterans assume that the VA sets the rate. It's false. Right? So like that was a good hook that I used for a while for like VA loans and really pushing that. So like that whole angle of, hey, if you're a veteran, like the VA is scamming you. Let me show you. Like that's a good hook. That will get curiosity. And veterans are now going to be like, fuck, like they're taking my money. I fought for this country. Why are they doing this? So like that storytelling will then allow them to, you know, obviously group more people in. But it's all about curiosity. That's really at the end of the day. As far as where the avatar is, point A, and where you want to take them, point B. Like, for example, if I was teaching somebody how to build a marketing company, my story would be based on how I got started. And then where I am now, where you want to be, but I'm going to allow you to shortcut all of the shit that I went through so you don't have to go through it anymore. So, like, that's the story, is I'm taking you from point A and where I was to point B to where you want to be. And then the whole story between that is all the pitfalls, trials, and errors that I learned from so that you don't have to go through the same thing. And that's how I would sell that. Is now I did this for 7 years, you can do it in 1. And here's how. And I did all this stuff and spent all this money so that you only have to spend X. Like, that's just like bridging the gap storytelling. Other stories are going to be based on customer stories. Because the way I always look at it is this. Like, let's say you are running an ad and someone comments on your ad. And they say, well, let's say you're talking about how you're going to get them a better rate on their mortgage, right? Someone might make a comment saying, oh, well, you know, maybe they don't believe a certain claim, or they ask an important question about the mortgage that you didn't answer in the ad. Likelihood is that if one person commented it, another 10,000 people who watch are thinking the same thing, but that person was bold enough to ask. So now that comment is actually the hook for a new story. And you just keep running that content to people. So like people comment on my ads, they say, well, how fast are my ads going to be up and running? Well, ta-da, there's an ad that I then hit that ad with that then retargets all the views that then answers that question. And it's like FAQs. I look at FAQs as a different story every time.
Wow. Man, like you've really mastered this game. Like you really have. Like
shit gets me nerdy.
Yeah, you are the ad nerd, like the king of ads. You know, like, which is a huge compliment. You know, it's a testament to where you've allocated your brilliance. You know, and you're one of the most brilliant advertisers in the game. If not, I don't even know who's a comparable to you.
Probably say Russell Brunson.
Russell
Brunson is big. One of my good friends, Eddie Malouf, is good too.
Yeah, Eddie Malouf also. So you there's only like 3 of you.
There's probably like 5 the most. Yeah. It's very like small at the top. Like we all talk.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a friend, Daniel Walton, who followed Russell Brunson, who's around your age as well. Mm-hmm. He's running doing a lot of our ad strategy on Go High Level, retargeting, and he's a brilliant guy too. But I'm sure he's very familiar with you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so a couple last questions, just because I don't know what it involves goals. Now, I don't know if you have kids or not, and you're not married. You're still single. You're just geeking out by yourself. So, so what's a personal goal that you have for yourself, and a goal that you have for your business?
Personal goal for myself. This is going to be an interesting one. But I think that it is time for me to get out of like the internet marketing world and like find my peace in other things. Like I'm susceptible to it, but I got hooked into like nice things. Like I have a lot of nice cars and all this other nice stuff that's external. I think it's time for me to like get out of that world because it's just like quote unquote, it's just like full of shit. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get rid of like my cars one by one. I'm investing more money into like my knowledge, my network, my house. I'm a big homebody. That's how I'm finding my peace currently. I really value like my time alone. A lot of people always feel like they got to be around people all the time, like sociable. Like I get it. Networking's important. You know, who you know is a huge determination of where you go. But I'm just like investing more of my time, money, and energy into things that like really truly make me happy. So like trimming those things down and losing them as like the identity piece. Like I'm not naive enough to know that a lot of the brand that I've had in the first 4 years was built because I was the McLaren guy. Like I had 2 McLarens and I posted them all the time and I had the videos and all this stuff is so cool, but like it's really not. It's stupid. Like it's a liability, it's a waste of a $4,000 a month car payment. It's like it just stacks and it becomes a job to have cars. It's just like I feel like I'm taking care of kids every couple weeks.
I got 4 kids. It's much different.
Yeah. So it's like,
and just so you know, to that point, kids are very expensive. Paying bills for dance and jujitsu and I got like baseball and football, and soccer, and it's like thousands. It's more expensive than car payments.
Oh yeah. And then the business goal would be I want to be able to be around 25 to 50 million a year. That'd probably be it. Right now we're at like 12 to 17. So it's like it's not bad, but it's like I want to be around 25.
How much of that do you guys? That's gross. Then like, what do you get to net out of that?
Probably like 23 to 25%. I'll probably keep. And then I'm starting to do real estate and stuff. I'm starting to learn like taxes and I don't know. I was just so young and naive to stuff in the beginning. Like I didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
don't buy cars. Buy units.
Yeah. So I got 2 townhomes. I bought 2 townhomes. I'm starting to get off the ground with this stuff and like seller financing deals and like, dude, I've learned everything the hard way, which is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah,
like the first house I bought.
Lessons are expensive.
Yeah, the first house I bought, like, I didn't really care that much about credit, and then I got my mortgage rate back, and then I refinanced it months ago, and I was like, damn, what a stupid choice that was. I should have just like did this and this and this, and I learned all those bad lessons.
Just you being here gets you exposed. Like,
yeah,
I did this for Ike at Ike Sandwiches. I said, Ike, I'll give you free mortgages for life, for free sandwiches for life, but little does he know that he's gonna feed my whole office. Yeah. He's like, deal. We made that deal 2 days ago. Yeah, now it's like $1,000 a week in sandwiches going to the office. I'll do the same deal for you for ads.
I love it.
But you could
free
be flipping
sandwiches.
No, free mortgages for free ads.
Oh, free mortgages. Oh, geez. How many mortgages? Damn.
Dude, you need to put all your money in mortgages. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah,
all that money.
I had a bank statement.
You should have like 100 properties by the time you're like 40. That should be your goal. Not all this other stuff.
Yeah, dude, the cars are like
the dumbest thing you can buy.
The brakes, the tires, the gas.
All that is just a waste. Oh, I have a decent car right now. I'm getting rid of it. I want I want zero car responsibility. Plus, I don't even know how to drive nice cars. This one nice car I got, I just destroyed it. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I turn that thing in.
They just devalue so much. It's so bad. I had the McLaren. The McLaren kept value somewhat. Yeah. I lost like 25 grand on that one. I got a Bentley Bentayga. That was the worst decision ever. Because the Bentley Bentayga I lost.
How many cars do you have?
4.
Yeah, you should have one and then a bunch of houses.
I lost 75 grand on that car. And then I got an Aston Martin. I lost like 13 grand, 14 grand on that one. And then I got a Slingshot, that 3-wheeler. You ever seen those things?
Yeah.
I got one of those. I mean, that was a cheap thing. It was like 18,000 or whatever. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But like, huge liability.
Yeah. No. I'm more into like golf carts and e-bikes.
I love it.
Those are more fun. Last question, because you're a young guy. Mm-hmm. When you're in front of the pearly gates, what do you think God's going to tell you?
I feel like he will say, you tried your best with people, but you could have done better.
I like it.
I feel like that would be the thing that he would say to me. There's times where I'm like not good with people, and I know that that's like my biggest struggle for sure.
We all try, man. We just gotta keep on trying.
Yeah.
And keep on getting better.
That's definitely it.
Put away all the foolish, childish stuff. Put away the vanity. Put away all that stuff that means nothing. All right. Well, God bless you, man. I hope you hit all your goals. If people want to connect with you, how do they find you?
They can go on Instagram at the Jason Wojo, and if they want to check out our marketing company, they can go to the wojomedia.com.
Let's go, Jason, the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Wojo himself. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time.